Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show.
Welcome to This Week in Geek. Tonight is, well, I screw up our regular shows. Now we're doing this. What is it, the 17th?
I don't
20-something? Okay.
24th.
It's the 24th.
17th.
I fell into a time loop there. Things happen. So welcome to This Week in Geek. It's January 24th, 2015. We're going to talk some geek news. Before we get into it, as per usual, I want to bring up Alil has... Oh, we should introduce ourselves. I'm Rob Southgate.
Chris Mao.
Chris Mao is owner of the Blue Box. And
Woohoo! And I'm Alil Canizzo.
And Alil is from the show League of Geeks, as well as Nuff Said, which we're going to talk about both things here real quick. So first of all, on League of Geeks, they do a thing called My Favorite Stuff of the Week.
Of the week, yes.
Yes. And I want to do My Favorite Thing of the Week because something happened last night. We did a podcast on Nuff Said. Nuff Said is a Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. et al. Podcast. And one of the guys suggested that instead of the MCU, we're the NSU, the Nuff Said universe. And I have not stopped thinking about that. He's like, we need T-shirts, we need mugs. I am so down
Football
with it.
jerseys.
So that was my favorite thing this week. I just thought that was so funny. And then we also talked about the new universe from Marvel, which we're not going to fall into that rabbit hole on this show. But if you want to talk weird Marvel stuff, check out Nuff Said. So that was my first shameless plug. Alil, you got something you want to bring up first? You had something.
Well, you know, we're here in Elgin, Illinois, where we're at the Blue Box, and what's opening up in Schaumburg at Woodfield is
Woodfield's a big mall here.
Yes.
I mean, the people in here probably know, but people across the country are like, what's Woodfield?
Well, it was at one point like the biggest mall in the world, and
yes.
you know now it's small compared to a lot of other ones. But at Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, they're opening up level 257. And we actually talked about this early on the League of Geeks podcast. Sean brought it up. I didn't even know about it. He said it was in Chicago. And then we started looking it up, and all of a sudden he said it was in Schaumburg. And I'm like, that's my backyard, basically.
Right.
I'm always there. And it's basically almost ready to open.
So what it is?
That's what I was going to go into. It's a huge. I don't know if everybody knows that Sears had this big warehouse back behind the Woodfield, and they took this entire
Woodfield. Are you one of those? I was over at the Soldier Field.
The Soldier Fields.
Yeah. The Woodfield.
They took this entire warehouse and turned it into basically an 80s retro Pac-Man themed restaurant, bowling alley, arcade, everything. I mean, this place is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And
they
had big signs out that they can hold parties up to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It's going to have, I think it said 12 bowling lanes. It's going to be all up, high class, posh stuff that's looking awesome, but it's going to be retro with Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Isn't it somebody involved? Like the creator of Pac-Man is the one opening it?
Well, it's Namco that's involved.
It's Namco.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and the reason it's called Level 257 is that's the kill screen for Pac-Man.
The original, yes.
So that's what... They've got this bar out front. We actually saw it yesterday. I was at the mall with Molly, my daughter, for a class. And you think we have no class, but we did have a little class yesterday. And we pulled out, and I'm like, what's that 257? Like, I forgot.
And you see,
and I'm like, what is Sears rebranding? How stupid. And then I saw the ghosts, and it said, "Naming soon." And I went, oh no, this isn't stupid. This is heaven.
Yeah, we were there right when they started construction, because my kids, I have 3 children, they love the Rainforest Cafe, and if you love the Rainforest Cafe, become Landry members because you just get to the front of the line at all times. But shameless plug for nothing. I have
for
no
nothing,
affiliation,
right.
but it was awesome today. But they started all of a sudden painting the whole mall black, the whole side of it. I'm like, what's going on?
How many of those giant brownie things have you eaten there? You know they have that
the volcano cakes and Rainforest? Every time. We have to get one now that the kids have seen them. As they eat their food and they get a volcano cake.
Wait a minute, now that the kids have seen
Well,
them.
they get a couple bites and Daddy finishes the rest.
Okay.
There we go.
Chris and
Does an alien come out of them? I'm just wondering.
Chris and I know you enough at this point that you go there on your own, and we are convinced. I speak for both of us.
Absolutely.
I wish. I don't think I could handle one by myself, but
No,
okay, I probably could. But
You know what?
I don't
could.
want to. I would sit there by myself eating it, watching people staring at me.
Do you want to hear my? You want to hear my awful shame? It's not even shame. This is just awful. So I've got a gluten allergy. Okay, and a few years ago we discovered this, and that was it. No more fun. No more dairy. No more gluten because I have these stupid allergies. I was all about the eating contest. So I see that volcano. Before it would have been like, what's the contest? Is it like 4 of those in one sitting? I'll take it on. Now it's man versus allergies. I almost said something nasty. It stinks. I'm still on the mode from last night. Enough said went blue. Welcome to the blue box.
It went
Aptly
very,
named, so.
yes. But so, level 257, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I will probably be there opening weekday, because I want to check this out. Vintage arcade games, all that kind of stuff is so awesome.
Yeah, so awesome. Well,
And-
there's a place in Dundee called Underground Retrocade, and
Very
we're going to be
cool.
actually doing a live podcast there, like a live thing, for our 80s reboot show at some point.
Very cool.
So I think we'll have to invite you out for that. Chris,
I
you
will,
too.
I
Absolutely.
will take the invite, yes. I want to play arcade games, yes.
It's
No.
15 or $20 to play all that you want. You can play Frogger, you can play Pac-Man, Galaga, whatever you want. So
Done
it's
and
it's great.
done.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer, man. Okay, so let's get into geek news now that we've kind of done our weirdness. I have a new segment for this, too, that I'm going to unveil, but we're not doing that yet. Okay, so things that I saw in the geek news this week. It's funny because my first reaction was it was a slow week, but then I started going through and I filled a paper up very quickly with all these little things. One thing, let's jump into Star Wars right away. So a big rumor resurfaced again this week, and this actually I thought was interesting, and I'm going to actually the reason I want to bring it up, you can fall into a rabbit hole with these Star Wars rumors, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
The spin-offs are a big thing people are talking about, and the big rumor is that the first one is going to be a Han Solo spin-off, or a Boba Fett, or a Yoda, right?
Or
IG-88, or Hammerhead, the guy from the Cantina.
every
or-
popular character
Yeah.
will get a spin-off.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. So, what came out this week is, first of all, Gareth Edwards is the one directing it. As long as he doesn't have the guy from Kick-Ass that he had in Godzilla, I'm all on board. Because Godzilla, there was a lot to like, and I think him working in Star Wars where he doesn't have to cut the budget and have Walt from Breaking Bad leave after 2 weeks, I think that he can actually do something
So
when he has a
terrible.
budget.
Yes.
But it also came out that the spinoff, it sounds like, is going to be Han and Boba Fett. I am much more interested in that, the story of Han and Boba Fett, rather than here's Han as a kid and we're going to see him grow up and then he gets his superpowers and then, he doesn't have superpowers.
I was going to say, yeah,
No.
you've lost your geek card.
Yeah,
with that,
no,
that
I
comment.
know.
But
All I could think of is Superman. Every time they do a Superman movie, look, he's a kid and now he's got superpowers. And
then he kicks the football really far.
Yeah. Now he's running.
He lifts the tractor. And
He lifts a tractor.
And he watches his dad die.
Exactly.
Because
And
he
there's
saves
an
the dog.
awkward moment
So
with a kid with
bad.
no clothes on. What? Remember that?
Yeah.
I saw that on the
Blue,
Blu-ray, and I'm
blue.
like, well, I'm sorry I have a Blu-ray
That
player.
was 1977, right?
Yeah.
yes.
But
That kid
with-
turned out to be Screech on Saved by the Bell. Did you know that?
no, it's-
No, I'm kidding. Totally. Boy, you almost
That
fell
would
for-
be so
Chris kind of
terrible.
fell for that one.
But that's kind of what I anticipated with a Boba Fett movie, that you would have to have Han. I think he would be the driving character because if you watch Boba Fett go, I mean, Han before this, any of his backstory, he's a smuggler.
But was Boba Fett involved with it?
Basically selling drugs. I mean, he's smuggling drugs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
And he's working for the bad guys. So I think that like a Boba, and he's
now. Do you think they're going to have that
with these bounty hunters?
Do you think they're going to have that doughy, weird Jabba? Remember, he looked like he looked like our friend's mom, sort of. Remember when he was younger and he looked like in episode 1. You remember what he looked like? He looked weird in episode 1.
Was that him or another Hutt?
No, that was him.
Was it?
Yeah, and then he had his weird
he
wife,
young?
and they looked the same. There was something odd about that. Well, so I'm just wondering, do you think we're going to get that Hutt, or do you think we're going to have blown out, like, Elvis Hutt? Oh, Elvis Hutt. What if he has the big sideburns? Take my money for that toy. Take my money for the Elvis Jabba toy.
I think I would
Holy
be disappointed.
cow.
I'm sorry. I don't want to see that.
Jabba Hutt in a jumpsuit?
Oh,
That'd be great.
Oh, my God. Doesn't Sean on League of Geeks, he does mashups.
He does.
Let's commission him to do Jabba and Elvis for us. Chris is paying.
I think he would turn down the money. I mean, I really do.
Then he's a fool. I can't. You know what? I think we're going to make a movie out of that. We make a movie every week, don't we?
I was going to say, yeah.
If
we should
Tusk
start a
got
production
made
company.
off of a podcast, why can't Jabba Elvis be made?
Call Kevin Smith.
True.
Done.
Jabba and Elvis.
Done. Let me write that down. We're doing that. So, what do you think of that news? Is there anything more we got to talk about with it, or is it just we're laying it out there?
It's a good tie-in because they do tie in the movies. So why wouldn't it be another extension? And maybe it's just that Han Solo is the number one smuggler, and Boba Fett wants to be the number one bounty hunter. So he goes through the emphasis or the process of trying to capture him.
What if they
that.
flip it and Boba Fett is the hero in it, and he's chasing Han, but rather than you focusing on Han being the hero and being chased, it's more like Boba Fett's rise as a bounty hunter, and you get empathy for him. That would be cool. And then you see his dad's head get cut off in that big arena. Oh, no, we saw that already.
Right.
I was going to say, that's way.
Yeah.
He just has flashbacks of it.
Yeah.
And then you actually see the head fall out of the helmet.
Do you think they'll do that with the flashbacks?
And then he gets superpowers,
no.
and
And then we see his junk as he's in the field, and
Kevin Costner dies, and then that's it.
No, Kevin Costner.
Okay, I'm moving on to the next thing. This is the news that ate our house this week. We talked about it last week as, hey, Gillian Anderson said that she'd love to do X-Files.
Oh, yes.
All week, it's been Fox is actually considering it. With the amount of information that's kind of pushing forward, you've got Duchovny going on record saying, I'm in. You've got Gillian Anderson going, I'm in. See, my impressions are not very good.
It actually did sound like Jillian, but not like David Duchovny.
Yeah, right.
You have to go, I'm in, whoa.
Whoa. That's David Duchovny?
That's David Duchovny, yes.
Wow, that's a good David. So do you think – no, actually I can do David. Scully, you've got some barbecue sauce on your face. Let me get this. See? That's also my Han Solo impression, Jabba.
And Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. No, that's whoa. So that was big news this week, though. It sounds like this is gaining steam. The fact that they're saying they're considering it, I say it's a done deal. I say that what they're doing is they're doing all the negotiations for salaries and all that right now. I am so excited for the X-Files. Is anyone excited for X-Files return?
Yeah.
Woo! A silent
I saw a
time
few head
crash? Are you
shakes.
not excited?
No. What if
How dare you.
What if Matt Smith was in it?
What if Matt
Smith
was
is in
Matt
the
Smith
first
was in
4
it?
seasons, and that's all you
What
got to
if-
watch.
What if Mulder stumbles into a field and there's a TARDIS sitting there?
That's right.
I might have to leave now because something just went off in my brain. I need to be alone.
Are we
as
making
Carrie
that
Ann, My
movie
Wayward
now?
Son is playing.
Yes, and they open the doors and Elvis Jabba slips out. My whole world is
Elvis
crashing
Jabba.
in on itself.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's a done deal. You know, the sad thing
I'm
is,
glad you've said it's a done deal.
they all need the paychecks, so they're gonna do it.
Do you know what happened in our house after this news? It was a marathon of David Duchovny, Why Don't You Love Me? Which, do you know that song? Who did that song? Bree Sharp did David Duchovny, Why Don't You Love Me? To kiss and to hug me. I want to kill Scully. I heard it, 10 times this week? Right? Am I right? Yep, even my mom heard it.
No,
Oh, man.
no booze. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few playings of the video. There was some discussion. We sent it out to the other podcasters, and there was a wave of Mulder-infused estrogen that came rolling into Southgate Media Group. Yep. So you've missed out if you're not watching X-Files. Okay. We got another one? You got one? Or I've got more.
Yeah, I got something here. CBS is doing a Supergirl TV show.
Yes.
Right.
And
We
they've
have a podcast
cast
about it already. Already recorded, believe it or
Nice.
not.
Wow.
Girl from Krypton or Lady from Krypton? That's Jerry Lewis's podcast.
Sure. So they've cast Melissa Benoist, who's best known
I don't know
for
who
being
she
on
is.
Glee.
So she's one of the Gleeks.
Yes, she's
See
from
how I knew
Glee.
what that was. I don't
She,
actually know.
she's fine.
I know the
from
one
what
named
what I'm
Michelle,
worried about
because
is
she's got the dark hair and I've seen her on stuff. That's the only one I know.
the only thing I'm worried about is they're saying that Supergirl's going to be a detective series,
Oh, no.
and I don't know how you do that.
Nancy Drew,
Yeah,
Supergirl.
it's like, are we going back to when like they made Wonder Woman powerless back in the 70s, and they gave her the white jumpsuit? Like it's
Supergirl detective story.
Like I guess if they do it right, where she is working for the police and that's how she gets her info, like a la Clark Kent working for the you know.
Okay.
And then he
But
goes
she's
to
Supergirl.
it,
Does
but-
she really need? No.
No, I agree. I just think it's weird.
Does Kevin Costner die in that? I just want to know.
Kevin Costner dies in all of them. In the opening of Batman v Superman, he will die in that as well.
I think the audience is going to die in that one. You know what? Let's talk DC for a second because I actually want to get into this one a little bit more. That's very disappointing news about Supergirl, okay? It makes me nervous. I'm a nervous farter, so Chris, watch out.
What is going on?
Got that covered.
This is the establishment.
That's right. Okay. There was this week, I don't know if it was this week or last week, but Tom Brady dropped out of Suicide Squad. What's his name?
Tom Brady.
What's his name?
Tom Brady deflated footballs.
Yes.
Wow, he's really not doing it. You know who I mean.
If y'all don't know, Rob knows nothing
He was-
about sports.
he was
and I just want to
Bane.
say one thing real quick because we're all
Tom
here from
Hardy?
Chicago.
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy on that. But R.I.P. Ernie Banks for anybody out there.
Ernie,
Yes.
yeah,
Ernie
he's the
Banks.
baseball player. He died.
Yes.
I just saw it at the gas station.
Oh my God.
It said Mr. Baseball
You are-
died, Ernie Banks.
You are lucky somebody's in between us because I would
Let's-
strangle you right now. But let's
I
get off
was-
sports. That's for the sports podcast on the Southgate Media Group.
We do
that
have
nobody-
one. We do have one.
What? Who's
We
doing
do.
that one?
We have something for everything. It's a nightmare to edit because I don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, I know what a football is. It's that brown thing. That's about it.
Terrible, man.
Yeah.
God.
And if it's a Patriot football, it's underweight, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that is.
All right.
So-
all right. Moving on. Okay, go.
Moving on. So Tom Brady quit the
Tom
Suicide
Hardy.
Squad.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy quit the Suicide Squad. And
And Jake Gyllenhaal passed.
And that's the news. Jake Gyllenhaal passed. Now, this is why I want to talk about this. When Hardy, I can't do the first name because I'm going to say Brady if I say Hardy. Hardy left, and there's a lot of news about, or rumors, he left because of scheduling conflicts.
Script.
All the-
He didn't like the script.
Yeah.
His character, Rick Flag, wasn't going to be very big.
Okay, they were saying that he didn't like that Rick Flag didn't have enough of a part. I call BS. I think this story, just reading it, I was like, this reeks of spin. There is something wrong with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they shouldn't make that movie.
When Jake Gyllenhaal passed on that character, I think that was the biggest red flag. I think they've got a bomb. And then I was talking about this with somebody today, and they said, yeah, but Will Smith's still in it. I'm like, did you see After Earth?
Yes.
Okay, Will Smith will do anything at this point. He did After Earth.
Hold on.
He's in
There's
it.
20 million reasons he does things.
That's
and
right.
That's
and
okay.
I'll give you another reason.
Not anymore. He's not getting paid that anymore.
I'll give you another.
Nope. Like they were talking about all these big time actors outside
works
of
for
like
tips.
Downey. They're not getting paid what they were anymore. You get a couple
I feel
bombs,
bad
you're
for
losing
him.
it.
I'm,
Yeah, he's getting.
I hope he can make his rent this
10
month.
million, I guess. You know?
I
He'll get 8 or 10 million, write a song, merchandise and still make $500 million off of the damn
Is that
movie.
why Jada Pinkett is on Gotham? Because they got to pay the rent?
Yeah, that's
So
exactly why.
here's why he'll stay in
she's
Suicide
terrible.
Squad until the bitter end. It shows them that he's a team player, and they're going to end up hiring Jaden. That's why. Jaden will end up in a DC movie because of Will's move.
Yeah, they've already rumored that he was going to be I can't remember.
Terrible
the
in
character.
whatever part? That's
Yes.
not a rumor. That's a fact.
Well, I think, and you're right. I do think that's why.
Does he look
Will
like he's
is doing
crying
this
all
role.
the time? You ever notice his eyebrows kind
He
of go
does,
up like
yes.
he's crying? They look like they're painted on.
It's sad to me that kids my age think that he
Wait,
is the Karate
kids
Kid.
your age?
Kids I'm sorry,
Wait.
kids who are my kids'
You're
age.
not a
Yeah,
kid anymore.
Whoa.
Kids my age.
We like Kool-Aid.
Kids my kids' age think he is the original Karate Kid.
No.
Because I'm telling you, like, my daughter watched that first because it was on TV, and I turned it off and I said, "No,
Is that-
this
No.
is
Is it-
Karate
hold on.
Kid."
No.
And she has watched it on a loop ever since.
You watch
In
Alien.
between aliens.
No.
In between
You
aliens.
listen to Mr. Miyagi now.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Is that like Christopher Eccleston
Hey,
is
this is
the
a
first
family
Doctor?
show. Watch that. I got a question.
No, I've watched them all. I've watched all four Doctors.
Is there anybody
That's
here
all four Doctors.
that thinks of Jaden Smith as their Karate Kid? Anyone? Anyone?
Good. Yeah. Not after that tirade.
Anyone?
You see
What
some,
what
some of
about
these
kids
pops
Lil's
up.
age?
Yeah.
Kathleen's in the audience ready to take a smackdown on anybody.
Why? Because you're a big fan of Jaden Smith?
Ralph
No,
Macchio.
I know. Ralph Macchio.
Ralph
It's
Macchio.
all about the Macchio. It's not all about the bass. It's all about the Macchio. That's going to be my new song.
It's
I
all
couldn't
about
sing
the
that
Ralph.
song
It's
either.
all about the Ralph.
All about the Ralph.
All about the Ralph.
All right,
no
Olo,
wax
settle
off.
down over there. Are you going to sing for us?
I would have, but you already
Oh.
stopped it.
Every time we get so close, don't we?
I can't. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to bust out the
Okay,
pipes.
here's a better question. Did anybody see the Jaden Smith Karate Kid? You did. You did.
Anyone?
Was it any good?
It was
It was
okay.
pretty decent. Okay.
I like Jackie Chan, and and he was
Oh,
okay.
he's
in
Mr.
it.
Miyagi in
Ooh,
it.
yes.
Well, he's not Mr. Miyagi. It's a whole different thing. It's not,
It is?
Yeah, they're not Mr.
Is he
Miyagi.
Arnold?
He's
Wait
not-
a
would be
minute,
great.
wait a minute. I need to know something about this movie. This is welcome to This Week in Geek from 1974. This is my question about it.
It's like that's 10
Is it-
years prior
I thought
to
it
the
was-
Karate Kid. It's like-
Oh, 81, right? Isn't that what it is? Something like that.
I was born at that point. I don't know about the rest of you in the room. Here's my question. I thought that was just a remake, that the one guy was Miyagi, the one
No.
guy was
I mean-
Daniel
No.
San.
And we have,
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
So here's the weird thing about that movie. It's called The Karate Kid. The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And it takes place in China.
What?
Because it's kung fu.
Wait,
And it's Kung Fu.
But
do we get a
If
Carradine?
David Carradine was still alive, he would have been in that role.
And Quentin Tarantino would have directed it.
Oh my
That's a-
God! Oh my! Quentin Tarantino remakes Kung Fu and
Oh.
makes the Karate Kid. Oh yes!
With Uma Thurman.
make
I'll
it
do it.
happen.
I'll do it.
Bruce Willis.
Wow.
Sorry,
And
sorry,
ins-
David
and
Carradine.
instead of the yellow jumpsuit, she's in the Elvis jumpsuit. Let's just.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
you gotta get out of this Elvis thing.
No, I can't. I'm thinking about Jabba in the Elvis jumpsuit. It's in
Come
my
on,
brain
Michael
now.
Madsen is already in the movie, so you can't
Oh,
do that. So what are you talking
Shooting rock salt out of a gun. Oh, is it the best thing ever? We need to go home and watch some Tarantino, Martha.
about? Sorry.
All right. Yep, Tarantino, bed. Tarantino,
Shame.
bed. Nope.
Oh no!
No. Kill Bill with Jaden Smith, a remake. Oh,
No, the entire
And him in the
it's
yellow. He's
people are-
Beatrix.
the
People are trying to
entire
eat
Smith
here.
family.
oh, the Smith
Entire
family.
Smith family.
Yeah, like that Annie thing. You know, it was supposed to be Willow Smith in the role of Annie. Did you know that? It's just awful.
Yeah, well, you know.
It's just awful. And to think I like to get jiggy with it.
Hey, man, you know, I, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air loved
Hey,
it.
for
You know,
all
when
of
it
you
came
not paying
out, loved Will
attention,
Smith.
boo.
I just ignored that comment. I just continued.
Okay,
Boo.
I'm shifting gears because you hurt my head with the Karate Kid thing, and now I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Karate.
Karate. Simon Pegg is writing Star Trek 3.
Yay.
So this is interesting because first it was Robert Orsi who wrote the first two. He was going to take over directing, but he's not any longer. Now Simon Pegg is being brought in. Unlike the Suicide Squad, where I'm nervous about these changes, I'm not nervous about this one. I think Simon Pegg is awesome. I think even if you're using his name to put positive spin on what's going on, I think it's the right spin. I like the idea of him being involved in that. And if Nick Frost shows up as Scotty, that would be even better. Like Scotty's dad.
Scotty's dad?
Right?
In a Santa suit? Sorry.
Oh,
I had to say that.
With a tangerine, that would be amazing.
Or as a Bobby. Or as a Bobby,
right. He comes riding in on a reindeer, and then he makes Simon Pegg pull his finger. This is the movie I want to see.
No, I mean, I
Edgar
think
Wright directs it.
That's where I was going to go with it. Like
Edgar Wright's
this would be
Star
the
Trek
perfect
3.
opening for Edgar Wright to take in here and co-write this with Simon Pegg.
Star Trek 4, Wes Anderson.
When's Tarantino going to do
Star Trek 5, Tarantino with Jaden Smith. Suddenly, I'm in on a Jaden Smith movie.
And Jamie Foxx is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
As long as he keeps his pants on, unlike Django,
Yeah,
I'm okay.
I mean, I thought Simon Pegg is doing a great job as Scotty, and he's
doing a great job in everything.
He's added a lot of depth to that character, so I think I think it's a
How
passion for
dare
his.
you
What?
say that about James Doohan?
Why not? I mean, well, no, I'm
He
just saying.
didn't add
No.
dimension.
He's
getting all
adding to it.
nervous. It's not Geek-tastic Cage
It's
match.
not-
You're okay.
It's not about that. It's about. I mean, I think Simon Pegg has done a great job with this new Star Trek world that they've created, and I know he's a huge Star Trek fan, so I think he will add a lot to the third movie.
Did
to
you
make it
guys
different.
like Star Trek 2 Into Darkness?
Oh yeah, absolutely, I did. I loved it.
How about you?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was the greatest movie. I didn't like it as much as I liked the original Star Trek that he
Wrath
did.
of Khan.
No, not Wrath.
Or Star Trek.
Star Trek 1, the
in
first
2009.
J.J. Abrams 2009 Star Trek.
You liked that better than you liked
I did.
Into Darkness. Okay, did you guys like Into Darkness? Did anybody not like Into Darkness? No, you didn't see it.
Another plug available on Netflix for 7 more days.
After the Tarantino marathon, we're going home to watch Star Trek. So
We're going to
all the
start
movies.
from 1960.
Here's
Start
the
from
weird
Star
thing.
Trek Beecher.
When Into Darkness came out, all I heard was people complaining about it. And then I see this thing, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and Cumberbatch is awesome in it.
No, I enjoyed Cumberbatch. I thought it was good. I have no problems with it. I just liked. I guess I like the newness of the 2009 one.
The new hotness, to quote Will Smith.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is this a Will Smith podcast?
It is. Welcome to the Will Smith podcast.
This week in Will Smith.
Nah.
Now listen to a story.
Oh, that was good. Thank God you didn't go on.
Oh, yes. Thank God.
I do know the whole rap, but
Do you?
Of course.
When we turn the
Hold on.
mics off, you need to
okay,
do it.
to go completely off of it, Graham Norton's show, they make him sing the theme to Fresh Prince from Bel-Air, and whoever was on the show with him played it on the keyboard and had to practice all week. He was so nervous. Look it up on YouTube. It's unbelievable.
It's not Jazzy Jeff?
No, it's not. It's just like it's an English actor that does it. He goes, I had to practice all week. It is phenomenal.
Awesome.
And he does it, and the whole crowd does it. The whole audience.
Did you ever see, speaking of covers of the Fresh Prince song, the thing with the two piano players that did the piano battle on it? That's another one to look up. There's a piano battle of the theme to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it's actually amazing. Believe it or not.
Sorry.
That's our new
I
show,
believe
believe it or not.
We completely derailed Simon Pegg.
Okay,
Sorry.
here's something that I think should get booze. Julia Roberts. Okay, got crickets instead of booze. I hate Julia Roberts. Yeah, I do. I don't like Julia Roberts.
Hate is such a
Did
strong
you
word.
see-
She
did
was
you see-
wonderful in Steel Magnolia.
She was.
Fried
Wonderful.
green tomato.
Ocean's 12 is the reason I can't stand Julia Roberts.
She can't act like herself.
Yeah, but Ocean's 12 was a terrible movie.
And I blame Julia Roberts.
Oh, I blame everybody coming back to get a quick paycheck.
I don't blame
I
George
blame
Clooney
Jaden
because he's
Smith
dreamy.
and Willow Smith.
Yes, Willow Smith. She's going to catch a lot of flack now.
And Dr.
So
Smith. Because
Julia,
And Dr. Smith, no.
no,
Just because.
don't you blaspheme Dr. Smith.
Zachary Smith? What are you talking about?
Julia Roberts is producing. This is what. Okay, there's a documentary that is coming out. It's playing the circuits right now on Bat Kid.
Yeah.
It's called Bat Kid Begins. And you guys know what Bat Kid is, right? The kid that did the Make-A-Wish to be Batman for a day, and they fully made it happen. They put him in this suit, and they
shut down San Francisco.
Yeah, it's amazing. And this documentary, I'm dying to see it. It looks great. So Julia Roberts swooped in on her demon wings and said, I'm going to make... I'm really working the booze. I'm not getting them. But she...
I was going to say,
I'm
send
not
your,
worried
send
about
your
that.
hate mail to Rob Southgate.
Not a big fan, so to speak. But she is going to make a dramatic version of Bat Kid Begins. Why?
Starring Jaden Smith.
Probably. No. Starring her.
Well, she will be the mom.
She'll be the mom,
you know.
and Jaden Smith will be the kid. It won't make sense. Wow. Oh, yeah. She's like the new Kathy Lee. Remember Kathy Lee used to do that with her kids? She'd trot them out. What were they, Cody and Banks or something? Cody and Cassidy, yeah. Yeah. You don't remember if you saw Star Trek, but you remember Cody and Cassidy.
I was going to say, that's terrible. I mean, that's...
She's not going to be on our show either, just FYI. Kathy Lee is... The invite has been rescinded. So are you guys excited about...
If you have wine, she might show up.
Yeah, right. Are you excited for a Julia Roberts-produced dramatic version of Bat Kid Begins, or are you into the documentary?
No, I saw what happened. I read all the news articles. I was really happy for the kid.
I hope they do an
thought
action
it was great.
figure. That would be awesome. And the
know,
proceeds go to the family.
Yeah,
that would be
definitely.
just fantastic.
All that kind of stuff is great. I don't need it to be exploited any further.
No, that is where the line is, and this reeks of exploitation, and not cool like grindhouse exploitation, because that's cool and awesome. Okay, what didn't we talk about?
Fox. We haven't talked about Fox.
Nobody knows what we talk about up here.
I'm going to get the name wrong, so somebody's going to have to shout it out. But we have a new segment for This Week in Geek. It's called Way Cool Stuff. There's a theme song. You didn't hear it. Yeah. I just made it up.
Way cool stuff.
Here's why I want to do Way Cool Stuff. This week, Ward Seward, who is in the room, you've been pulled out, told me about the Microsoft conference that happened. Did you guys see this? They introduced a new product. Now, okay, this is going to polarize the audience. I'm a Mac guy. I became a Mac guy a couple years ago, and I'm a Mac guy, okay? So I'm in the Microsoft store, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't Mac. And then I heard about this thing. It's called, like, I call it the Holodeck or Jarvis, but it's Halloween. Point. No, I didn't look it up. HoloLens. Hey! So did anyone see the HoloLens? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Whole lot. You know. You get a car. Chris, you're buying them. Okay, so here's what HoloLens
Matchbox
is.
you want.
Here's what HoloLens is. It's Jarvis. It's holographic. Like, you can't. Okay, you wear a headset, and it creates a, like, 3D holographic environment of things. So, like, one of the things they showed in the demo, and what I heard, I'll get to it. You see, I'm scattering all over. I'm so excited about this thing. It's so cool. Like, they show this guy walk into his kitchen, and he has the lens thing on, and he looks up, and on his fridge come the logos for Facebook and Twitter and all those things. And he goes up and he pushes the button, okay? And then he goes over to his counter, and he says, like I'm shopping for a couch and on Amazon, and boom, a couch, a little mini couch, 3D rendering of the couch appears on the counter, and he turns it around so he can see it from all different angles. It is Jarvis. It is amazing, or at least it's the first step towards Jarvis. Do you remember in Minority Report how cool that was? And he had the glove on and everything, the Power Glove from Nintendo, which is also awesome. That's what this is without the Power Glove.
Can I just get Paul Bettany to move in and kind of just talk to me?
I know you're smitten with the Bettany.
Love the Bettany.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I'm not saying like, woo, I got to run out and get it. I'm saying this is the beginning of the singularity. We're all going to be taken over by robots. No, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah,
I was really into it, and I want to see Apple do it. Look at on what's the bar that they have on the Xbox? That really cool one that does motion capture.
Kinetics?
Yeah, that
Kinect.
they did in Paranormal.
Kinect.
Okay, so that's a really cool thing, and now everybody kind of has it. Same thing's going to happen here. They've got this thing, and it really is awesome. Now, here's the thing that really got me. Yeah, you see these demos, and you go, sure, they're rendering all these demos. I'm calling Suicide Squad on it. There's no way. They let a select amount of press in there. There was somebody from Wired, who I am a big fan of. Some people like that, press people. They put them in a private room where they got to actually use it. They were stunned. They said the demo was real. They said the only thing, the guy in Wired said the only thing that he wasn't floored by was the fact that he couldn't, like if you had a coffee cup that went into this 3D environment, you couldn't pick it up.
Wow.
And he said there was no texture to the buttons. It's not real.
Right.
It's a hologram,
Well,
but
it'll be just the same as like pressing buttons on your smartphone that aren't buttons.
Right.
You'll pick up how to dial.
Exactly.
Now, if you looked at a button, you'd be like, what is that?
So the other part of the demo that is amazing is, and I don't play this, but they played Minecraft on it. Anybody play Minecraft? Yeah, some people, someone too.
So,
Okay,
3.
it was the guy goes into his living room, he sits down on the couch, he says Minecraft, and the thing he's working on, because it's like building Legos, right? Up pops this big castle and everything, 3D. He can walk around it. He can see the whole thing. So if you're building Minecraft, it's more like even building Legos without having to deal with breaking bricks apart. How awesome is that?
I think that's
You guys are
great.
nonplussed by this.
Oh,
I
no.
am freaking
No,
I
I'm-
think that's
I'm
great
just
for
thinking.
gaming and all this kind of stuff, but I don't want to sit there and shop with a big thing
Well,
on
that's
my
just
head.
it. You have to put but look at Google Glass. Google Glass has even gotten slicker. It looks better. This is like an evolution from that. If you take what they're doing with Google Glass, add this holographic rendering to it, we are that close to a holodeck where we can go in and pretend we're Sherlock Holmes, just like they did on Star Trek. No one else is
I think it'll be. And I love
think
it.
I'll be
I
dead
want
by
to
the
be on
time
a
this
holodeck
happens.
and play Star Trek.
I'm just thinking of the MMO RPG possibilities with it. Just be like,
So do
you're-
I.
You're in on that. So, oh yeah, BattleTech would be
Shut
good.
up. BattleTech in a 3D
Warhammer,
environment
yeah.
like that. My dad could paint them in 3D, and yeah,
Nice.
my dad's that guy. You ever see the 40-year-old virgin?
You mean we won't need Pokemon
Remember the 40-year-old
cards
virgin
anymore
when he's
'cause they'll
painting
be
the little
virtual?
miniatures? That's my dad. Only, obviously, he's not the 40-year-old virgin. I'm here. But there you go. Welcome to Tech Talk with... Okay, so I had to get that one out. You got another one?
You know, you caught me off guard with this Google thing.
I
or
did.
Microsoft
I did.
thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, here's disappointing news. DreamWorks, they're not doing as great with their animated films as they should be. I think they've done a wonderful job. I think they're marketing them incorrectly. I think that's where they're having problem marketing against like Pixar. Where I point to that is Peabody and Sherman. I think they failed in the marketing on that. That was a fantastic movie, and it didn't reach people the right way.
Well, I also think the problem with DreamWorks is they come up too quick with random sequels for their movies of characters that maybe, yeah, they loved them in the initial movie, and I go to like Madagascar, and then they focus on the other characters rather than the main characters where the story's built around.
Yeah, like putting
you
the
get the
penguins
penguins,
thing out,
and it's like
having the TV show for the penguins, great. Having
you don't
the
need a
full
lot.
movie,
Yeah, exactly. You don't need that. Or the Minions.
Right.
Everybody loves the Minions. My kids love the Minions, but it's like they fit well in the story. But when you
Right.
get their own, and all they're doing is eat, ball,
Yeah.
it's just after a while, it's how much can you
Are
do?
you like Rich Little over there doing the impressions of the Minions?
Give us your
baby,
Nixon.
baby?
Give us your Nixon, please. Wow.
So, was
Sorry,
that your
this-
Nixon? That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
So here's where it's disappointing, though. They're pushing their schedule back. So the movie that I was most excited for was How to Train Your Dragon 3, and it's pushed back to 2018 now. I mean, we're gonna have like 7 Star Wars movies before How to Train Your Dragon 3 comes out. That's disappointing. And they have some weird new properties where I'm like, these aren't. You know what? They said there are 7 How to Train Your Dragons because there's all those books, right? And there's, I think, 5 Kung Fu Pandas.
Right.
Let's not go 5 years in between them where everyone forgets about Kung Fu Panda. Let's get them out every 3 years, and keep the excitement. By the time they get to the last one, Jack Black is going to have a walker. You're going to hear it in his voice.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Well, I mean, what happened?
I don't know why a walker goes into that.
If they can do Catching Fire and all that stuff a year apart, why can't they do those in the
Well,
year?
because the animation does take longer. So I get that, but a 3-year time span, especially when you've got it on a slate like that, they should be able to do that and keep it going. Pixar is essentially doing it.
You can't.
They
you're
come
gonna
out with
lose all
one
the
a
kids.
year.
You're going
and
to lose
they're
all the kids on it. I mean,
Yeah.
what if it's 7 and it's 3 years? That's 21 years old. That's 21 years between beginning and end.
Right.
18. That's
Showing
too
off
long.
the math skills, huh? Getting
Yeah.
ready for Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
That's right.
Yep.
And the answer is still no.
So are you disappointed in this news? I was disappointed because I want to see that one, and I looked at the other ones coming in. I'm like, why aren't you doing a sequel to Peabody and Sherman? If you're going to start these other properties, you've got a property with known characters that was a good movie just mishandled. Do a sequel there. Pump that in there, see if it flies. If it doesn't fly, you're taking a bigger risk with these unknown properties that don't look that exciting. It's kind of like we talked last night about the Marvel New Universe from '86, which was a disaster. Look it up, people. It was a disaster. That's what they're doing. It's like, hey, we've got a good thing going. We've got Madagascar. We've got, Despicable Me. Let's make some new properties that
Is it because they're
aren't
feeling
as
are
good.
They feeling pressured and they're not as relevant as they were when they first came out, and so they're
maybe
throwing darts at the board and hoping?
Now,
Or
here's
what?
the other thing. The other half of me likes new properties. I like originality in new properties, but for these types of things, it makes sense to keep the story. You've got 7 books you're working from. It's not like you're just hacking out a sequel. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is vastly different than How to Train Your Dragon.
I know. I'm
What, the Marvel thing? It's terrible.
It's Epic
called
Disasters.
Epic Disaster. No,
1986.
in '86, they tried to relaunch this whole superhero thing, and they called it the New Universe. They had the worst titles. There were 8 books. Is that what we determined?
Yeah.
One was called
Yeah.
DP7. Don't ask. One was called what was it? Streakers or Sneakers or
I don't remember anything.
Skimmers or something. It was
Fireman, Spitfire.
one was called
something.
Firebrand or
Yeah,
something.
so-
Starbrand. Not
Starbrand,
Firebrand.
yeah.
That's
It
a
was
redheaded
awful.
guy. Starbrand. And the funniest thing with that is the character looked exactly like Star-Lord, but he had a brand on his hand. That's creative. He's Spider Guy. He looks like him, but he's a guy, not a man.
Exactly.
It was
Spider
that
dude.
bad. Yeah, bad news.
But back to How to Train Your Dragon. See,
we're talking about that.
The,
Okay.
the thing I want to end with on that part is, you had Toy Story, which was 15 years between 1 and 3.
Yes. Well, you needed 15 years for your heart to heal after that first one. Because by the third one, I'm not ready for a fourth go. I'm in trouble.
Well, and they're going to do a 4th one. But
I
the
know
thing
they
is,
Chris and I are gonna cuddle and watch it.
if you have a good story and a good movie, people are going to come back to it.
Yes.
I went back to Toy Story 3 because I loved the first Toy Story movie.
Yes.
And I didn't love the second, but I enjoyed the second one.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding? I love the second one.
The second one's good, but it was made for DVD.
Yes.
It wasn't even supposed to be released in
So
theaters.
is that why you hate it?
No.
This was made for DVD.
It's worthless.
inferior
No, but I'm just
quality.
saying you
I can't
can
enjoy
tell
this.
it's not as great as the first one was. But the third one was
Amazing.
Yeah, it was one of the best movies I saw that entire year. But I think if you have a movie, and I think How to Train Your Dragon can be that, where children, when they get older, will go see it.
Yeah, it's like the Harry Potter series.
But-
I think How to Train Your Dragon has that type of staying power, and I
think they can
love
they
the
can
second one.
last going a little longer in the years between sequels than other movies can.
But Harry Potter, like Game of Thrones, like other franchises like that, are waiting for the new content to come out. Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling lagged behind the movies because I don't think she expected it to be like that. Those How to Train Your Dragon are there. They're
Right,
out there.
they're already there.
No,
That's
I
already
agree
there.
with
They know what it is, and it's
Right,
it's
so
there.
they just put it
But
on the
they could.
slate and make it go. The problem is they're trying to put these new properties in, and I get it. I like new properties. I like that. But in this case, I think it's a misstep by them. I think that DreamWorks is making a mistake here. And we've seen it before with other companies. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Well, but you've seen it with other companies. When they make too many sequels, their property falls apart.
Right. Or
So-
podcast companies with too many shows.
That as well.
How meta.
What is too many? 54? 54 is too many.
We have 2 cats. 3
So-
is too many.
That's right.
55 is the limit. Because 56 is the one starring Julia Roberts, and I'm done at that point.
That is mine. I'm doing Julia Cast.
Julia.
24/7 Julia Roberts news.
That's right.
Yeah.
Done.
It's the Julia. All
Julia Geeks.
It's the first show he said no to.
with
League of Julias with a Z.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, that would be the worst. What else do we have to talk about? They're doing a Blob remake. There is stuff. There's all sorts of stuff, and we just kind of skimmed over it. I'm going to save this for another time. Actually, I think I'm going to post this on our website. I read an amazing article in one of the Geek News things this week, and I urge everybody to read it. I read it on JoeBlow.com, but I saw it go other places. It was, you know who Werner Herzog is, right? The director?
Yes.
Yeah, Werner Herzog. He put out a list. I'm going to see if I can find what it is here. He put out a list of 25 essential things that everybody should know as a filmmaker, and they're I read it and I'm like, oh, this is so applicable to everything. And if I can find it here, I want to read a couple, but I'm not going to be able to find it, so you're going to have to go to our website to find it. I'm scanning through here, and I'm seeing nothing that I care about. Julia Roberts thing keeps popping up on me here. Let's
Is
see.
this the 24 pieces of life advice
Yes,
from Werner Herzog?
it's that one. Can you find it? Can you pull it up?
I am right now.
So you can just read a couple of them.
Okay, so number 1 is always take initiative.
So these are this is his, but he was talking to his life advice to filmmakers is
Right.
what it was. But then you read it and you're like he says one thing about really get into music, really listen to music and
Right.
understand music. That is solid
Right.
life advice. I'm going to read this to Molly and make
yeah.
her listen. And if she doesn't listen, it's punishment.
This is a good one. There's nothing wrong.
She has to watch Jaden Smith Karate Kid.
And that
if
falls
she
right in
doesn't.
there. Learn to live
Kung
with your
Fu
mistakes.
Kid.
No, there's nothing wrong with spending a night in jail if it means you get the shot, which is pretty awesome. I think
That is life advice.
there's
So
never an excuse not to finish a film.
if you take it out of the film world and you put it in whatever it is, whatever your passion is, whatever your thing is, and you take the things he's saying and apply them to your life, I thought this was an amazing list of 25 things.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody, let's go to jail.
Let's go. That's a new movie directed
Werner
by Quentin
Herzog is
Tarantino.
bailing us out. Yes. So
This
I
is
think
pretty
that's
amazing.
it.
Just scanning over it. That's pretty crazy.
Well, we've
So-
lost Chris for the night.
No, it's all right.
So I think that's it, unless you guys have any other. I mean, there's always a ton of news. I was really surprised at how much I found. Do you have anything else?
No, I think all
That's a lot
all that
of
stuff is rumors, so it's
Yeah.
not even worth talking
it-
about right now.
Colin Hanks is in the Elvis Nixon movie. I didn't know there was an Elvis meets Nixon movie. To me, that's a big one.
I think it's Jabba as
no,
Elvis
no,
meets
it's
Nixon.
yeah, it's actually it's Colin Hanks. There were 3 or 4. I didn't write down who it is. It's really good people that are in this. So suddenly it hit my radar. I'm like, there's an Elvis Nixon movie. I'm all about it. So, no, it's not. You just had 2 sides of me. The sweet side said, no, it's not. I don't want it to happen. The other side said, yes.
And
make
the-
it a
and the soundtrack
terrible-
is done by the
Will
Backstreet
Ferrell
Boys.
is Nixon, and no, it would have to be Dan Aykroyd as Nixon, wouldn't it?
Dan
Or
Aykroyd.
how about Anthony Hopkins?
Anthony Hopkins.
Who was?
We're not going to fall into the Bubba Hotep trap because you
So
know
sad.
that'll go on. We're almost out of time. So is that it, guys?
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
All right,
it.
you can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts at our website, which is Got to pause between that. SouthgateMediaGroup.com. And we also have blogs on there. We actually started a blog for This Week in Geek, and it's got 1 posting. So, spend 30 seconds and read our blog. I'll eventually have another, and it'll be a whole minute. Let's see, what else? You can follow me on Twitter at rsouthgate. You can follow our network. Martha tweets from our network at SMGPods. Chris, you tweet?
I tweet under Blue Box Cafe 176. Also our website, theblueboxcafe.com.
And the Blue Box Cafe is a Doctor Who themed cafe, patent pending, not licensed, whatever you want to say.
No.
But it's awesome. Is it awesome, everybody?
Yeah.
Great food, great atmosphere. We're watching Doctor Who while we do this, and amazingly with my ADD, I have stayed in the game.
I know,
so-
I'm getting distracted.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And Alil, give your info.
I'm at LOGEEKZ for the League of Geeks podcast, and that's Geeks with a Z. And also, you can find us at www.theleagueofgeeks.com.
With a Z or an S?
Geeks with a Z.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that. All right, thank you so much, everybody. This has been This Week in Geek. We will see you next week. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.